What if the Ark of the Covenant, a relic shrouded in mystery and legend, wasn't just a religious symbol, a mere container for sacred texts, but a piece of lost technology, a marvel of ancient engineering, an ancient device of immense and dangerous power, a power that could reshape civilizations? The Old Testament describes the Ark in vivid and often terrifying detail, not as a simple box, a passive receptacle, but as an object pulsing with energy, crackling with unseen forces, capable of parting rivers, defying the very laws of nature, leveling cities, bringing down walls with unimaginable force, and striking down the unwary. A power that demanded respect and instilled fear. We're told these are myths, fantastical stories passed down through generations, but what if the ancients described exactly what they saw, documenting events with the tools they possessed, using the only language they had, interpreting advanced concepts through a primitive lens? The Ark's disappearance during the Babylonian sack of Jerusalem is a mystery, a historical black hole, but the real enigma is its nature. What was it truly capable of? Was it just a container for stone tablets, a sacred box holding divine law, or part of a complex apparatus? A sophisticated machine of unknown origin, technology disguised as faith, advanced science cloaked in religious ritual? The construction details in scripture, meticulously laid out, read more like an engineering manual than a religious text. A precise guide to building something extraordinary. The priests who handled it followed strict protocols, unwavering in their adherence, more like technicians than clergy, performing precise operations with potentially devastating consequences. The Ark's power, a force that could not be denied, its protocols carefully designed to contain and control it, and the fear it inspired, a primal reaction to something beyond comprehension, suggest it was a highly sophisticated and dangerous device, a testament to a forgotten age of innovation. Could the Ark be evidence of a lost chapter in human history, a time of advanced understanding, a chapter where science and the sacred were one and the same, where knowledge and faith intertwined? To understand the Ark, to truly grasp its significance, is to question everything we know about our past, to challenge the accepted narrative of human development. The line between magic and technology is thin, often blurred beyond recognition. Sometimes it's just a matter of understanding. The key to unlocking the secrets of the universe. Were the ancient priests the keepers of a sacred science, the guardians of forbidden knowledge, guardians of a power that was both divine, seemingly beyond human comprehension, and perhaps extraterrestrial? A gift from the stars, or a legacy of a long-lost civilization? The Ark's biblical exploits, often framed as divine interventions, sound less like miracles in the traditional sense. Instead, they bear a striking resemblance to demonstrations of advanced weaponry, far beyond the understanding of the time. At Jericho, the Ark wasn't just present, it actively led the Israelites as they circled the city, a ritualistic act with a devastating outcome. On the seventh day, after this repeated procession, the seemingly impenetrable walls collapsed, defying conventional siege warfare. Was this a miracle, a divine act of intervention? Or could it have been a directed energy event, focused and amplified by the Ark? The Ark parted the River Jordan, a feat described with almost mechanical precision, suggesting a controlled manipulation of natural forces. Could it have generated a localized force field, disrupting the river's flow, or perhaps even a gravitational anomaly, bending the laws of physics as they understood them? Its power was undeniably lethal, a force to be reckoned with. When Uzzah, in a moment of perceived necessity, touched the Ark to steady it, he died instantly, a consequence that seems disproportionate for a simple act of support. Was this divine wrath, a punishment for disrespect, or perhaps a fatal electrical discharge, a consequence of interacting with a highly charged device? The Philistines, after capturing the Ark and bringing it into their territory, suffered plagues and sickness, a wave of misfortune that decimated their population. The symptoms they exhibited are eerily similar to those associated with radiation poisoning, a chilling parallel that raises unsettling questions. Statues toppled from their pedestals, plagues followed in its wake, and terror spread like wildfire wherever the Ark went, leaving a trail of devastation and fear. The Ark was clearly not a passive relic, a mere symbol of faith or a repository of sacred texts. Instead, the evidence suggests it was an active, devastating tool of war, a weapon of unimaginable power in the hands of those who wielded it. Its effects were undeniably physical, tangible, and measurable, not just spiritual or psychological, leaving a lasting impact on the world around it. Walls fell, defying the limits of ancient engineering. Rivers parted, bending to an unseen force, and people died, often inexplicably and without warning. The Ark's power was unpredictable, volatile, and deadly to those who mishandled it or failed to understand its true nature. These stories, taken together, strongly suggest that the Ark was far more than just a religious symbol. It was a machine, a device of immense power, not just a metaphor for divine presence. The ancients may have witnessed technology so far beyond their comprehension that they simply couldn't explain it within their existing framework of knowledge. Instead, they attributed these events to divine intervention, recording it as acts of God, the only explanation that made sense to them. The Ark's legacy is one of awe, inspiring both wonder and reverence, but also fear, a primal instinct in the face of the unknown, and the unmistakable signature of lost science, a tantalizing glimpse into a past where technology and faith were inextricably intertwined. Was it a weapon designed for conquest, a tool for manipulating the natural world, or something even stranger, something beyond our current understanding? The evidence, pieced together from ancient texts and historical accounts, points to a device that could manipulate the environment on a grand scale and unleash destruction with terrifying ease. The Ark's story is not just a historical account, it's a warning, etched in the annals of time, and a tantalizing clue to forgotten technology, a key that might unlock the secrets of a lost civilization and its incredible power. The Ark of the Covenant, a relic of immense power and mystery, was anything but silent. Its presence was marked not by serenity, but by a cacophony of sounds and displays that defied simple explanation. Ancient texts, passed down through generations, meticulously described thunderous sounds emanating from the Ark, a sound so profound it resonated deep within the soul. Witnesses spoke of blinding light, an intense radiance that seemed to emanate from within the Ark itself, and a distinct voice speaking, seemingly originating from between the golden cherubim perched atop the mercy seat. Was this the literal voice of God, a direct line to the divine, a manifestation of the Almighty's will made audible? Or could it have been the output of a sophisticated communications device, a technology far beyond our current understanding, let alone that of the ancient world? Was this divine speech merely sound, carefully modulated and interpreted by those who stood in its presence, their understanding shaped by faith and limited knowledge? The Ark's presence was often associated with dramatic atmospheric phenomena, including the sudden appearance of ominous clouds, intense lightning, and booming noises that echoed through the surrounding landscape, classic signs of high-voltage electrical discharge, suggesting a powerful and potentially dangerous energy source at work. The legendary pillar of cloud and fire that guided the Israelites through the desolate wilderness, offering both shade and illumination, may not have been a supernatural phenomenon, but rather a visible manifestation of a powerful energy field, perhaps a form of plasma contained by an electromagnetic force. Accounts from battles describe flashes of fire leaping from the Ark, seemingly targeting and incinerating enemies, striking down enemies with terrifying accuracy and force. This was less a metaphor for divine intervention, and more akin to a directed energy weapon, capable of unleashing devastating power upon its targets. Priests, those entrusted with the Ark's care, wore special vestments, meticulously crafted according to ancient instructions, and followed strict protocols, carefully insulating themselves from the Ark's potentially lethal power, protecting them from its dangerous energies. Inside the Holy of Holies, the Ark glowed with an eerie light, hummed with a low resonant frequency, and crackled with static electricity, a constant reminder of the immense power it contained. Stepping into its presence was an experience more akin to entering a nuclear reactor chamber than a traditional sanctuary, a place of both immense power and potential danger. The High Priest's annual encounter with the Ark, a ritual performed with utmost reverence and caution, was essentially a brush with a dangerous ancient engine, a device of unknown origin and potentially catastrophic consequences. The Ark's multifaceted phenomena, the intense light, the resonating sound, and the potential for deadly force, strongly fit the profile of advanced technology, a device far beyond the comprehension of the people who revered it. Was the voice of God a literal transmission, a signal broadcast from an unknown source, or simply the raw, untamed roar of a machine, a complex mechanical device operating on principles far beyond ancient comprehension? The Ark, in its enigmatic nature, blurred the seemingly impenetrable line between the divine and the mechanical, challenging our understanding of both. Its power was undeniably real, demonstrably tangible, and undeniably terrifying, inspiring both awe and profound fear in those who encountered it. The Book of Exodus gives precise instructions for building the ark, a wooden chest overlaid with gold, inside and out. This isn't just decoration, it's the blueprint for a capacitor, two conductive layers separated by insulating wood. Such a device stores electrical energy, and the ark's design matches this principle perfectly. The dry desert air and constant movement could have charged the ark like a giant Leyden jar. The solid gold lid, with cherubim facing each other, forms a spark gap, where energy could discharge in brilliant arcs. The ark was carried with gold-covered wooden poles, never to be removed, an essential safety measure to prevent deadly shocks. Anyone touching the ark directly risked grounding the charge with fatal results. The design is a masterclass in high-voltage engineering, hidden in plain sight. The ark's construction details are not just symbolic, they're functional. The ancient instructions reveal a device built for power, not just reverence. Was the ark the world's first engineered capacitor? The ark's origins may trace back to Egypt, where the Israelites lived for generations. Egyptian temple art shows sacred barks, objects carried on poles, much like the ark. The Jed pillar, a symbol of stability, resembles a modern electrical insulator. Some researchers believe these were not just symbols but components of a lost power system. The Dendera light relief depicts what looks like a giant bulb powered by a Jed-supported box, an ancient schematic. Myths worldwide echo this theme: Greek Aegis, Hindu Vimanas, sacred objects wielding immense power. The ark may be the best documented survivor of a global forgotten science. The ark's technology theory is testable, and modern experiments have put it to the test. Replicas built to biblical specs, charged with static electricity, behave like giant capacitors, dangerous to touch, sparking between cherubim. Some suggest the ark's dimensions made it a resonant cavity, amplifying sound and possibly generating destructive frequencies. The granite tablets inside could have had piezoelectric properties, converting vibrations into energy. These experiments don't prove the ark was a machine, but they show it could have been. The design works. Engineers confirm its viability as a high-voltage device. The ark's miracles may have been the predictable effects of lost technology. The past may hold the key to powers we're only beginning to rediscover. We've long dismissed our ancestors as primitive, their stories as fables, but the ark's evidence points to a technologically advanced past, where the sacred and the scientific were one. Was this knowledge the legacy of a lost civilization, or a gift from elsewhere? The ark fits the profile of advanced, possibly non-human technology. This isn't about disproving faith but expanding our understanding. The ark invites us to question, to look deeper, and to imagine a future shaped by the secrets of the past. Its mystery endures, challenging us to seek the truth. The answers await those bold enough to ask.